I don't know why I'm laughing, Taurus, but I was just thinking back into March, where it was such a tumultuous month for everybody. You wouldn't think that with all that Pisces energy, everything would be dreamy and soft, but no, it was actually really tough for a lot of people. I hope, Taurus, like some of the others, you might have watched the playlist about What Now through the Gateway, because it's very much about you. You know, we had that moment in time, Uranus into Taurus, 0 degrees. So it is the beginning of a 7-year journey for you. It just started, and it's going to continue for 7 years. It's all about you. Uranus is there, so it's going to be, you know, like with Uranus energy, it's unpredictable. Expect the unexpected, okay? You are going to change, Taurus, fundamentally over the next 7 years. 7 years from now, you're going to be a different person. You'll still have the core essentials, you know, like the DNA and everything, but everything else is going to change, okay? So might as well get used to it. It starts right now. It actually just started in March. So we're still coming through the gateway. You might be getting glimpses already. With the Uranus energy, it's very much about synchronicity, spontaneous knowing, expanded sensory perception, greater connection to the higher consciousness, and the blasting open of anything and everything that is really fossilized and redundant and just obsolete. And the whole idea with that Uranus and Taurus energy is to break open, crack open anything that is obstructing you from being the more highly evolved, adapted, growing, and blossoming self. And sometimes the most amazing ways you can discover those things happening is by being witnessed in the context of relationship, especially a loving relationship, especially a conscious loving relationship. Then it becomes an adventure, and it's fun, exciting, scary, happy, sad, but it is life. It means you are alive, Taurus, okay? Now, sorry, I got all carried away there. It's because that whole playlist was in some ways really all about the Uranus and Taurus energy. So it's very important for you, Taurus. I know this is just a little tiny spread with just a few cards and it's a reading just for April, but to me it's like the energy of just moving into the gateway. So we're going to see what happens. Cards are already well shuffled in advance before you even got here, before we even started rolling, and I like to go to the last second so that you're a witness. Before we even get into the spread, you know, for regulars, just fast forward to the cards, okay? But for anyone new, I'm going to have to give you a kind of an overview. Please be patient. Okay, Tarot Illumination, we use the Tarot Illumination crucible spread. A crucible is a bowl-type structure, typically high refractory ceramic that they use in laboratories to conduct highly volatile, challenging alchemical reactions. So it's this very similar to what happens in humans and human relationships. Human relationships are some of the most profound landscapes in which we learn about ourselves and become ourselves. That's why relationship reports are so prominent on the YouTube channels that deal with astrology and tarot. Anyway, this is the crucible, okay? It is a bowl-type structure in which the relationship is conducted. And you guys own this whether you like it or know it or not. A lot of people obviously conduct themselves like this. There's you, there's the other. There's the other, there's you, and that's it. Okay, what are you trying to get out of me? What am I trying to get out of you? Wait a minute, what did we just do? All those kind of energies, but there is so much more that's happening, okay? So the cards are going to come out like this. There's you, there's the other, deep inside of you, deeper inside of the other, and then the relationship itself. It's on the understanding that the relationship is a third entity. It has its own life, energy, meaning, purpose, and mission, like another thing, okay? And you guys own it. And so it lives and grows according to your decisions, according to the way you conduct and channel your energy. And so what is being grown here? What is being fermented? Okay, we're going to look at all of that. Also, relationships have an aura. Okay, you are the relationship transmits energy. The relationship absorbs energy. Again, you guys own that. So I hope this helps you to understand the spread as it comes out, okay? Let's get into it, all right? Now, when we do this, I invite you to bring in your invisible friends, your archangels, spirit guides, loved ones from the great beyond, all of those lovely divine creatures who live beyond the veil, okay? And the veil is very thin here at Tarot Illumination, as you probably know already. So it helps. It makes it easier. Remember, this is not a couple's reading, okay? It's all about you, Taurus, and we're allowing for the co-star, okay? Also, singles, if you want to, you can watch this on the understanding that you pulsate energy. You radiate energy, okay? And the question is, what is the universe reflecting back to you? So you could think of the energy over here as the energy of what if. Okay, what if blah, blah, blah happened in a relationship? Or so-and-so showed up, or a new surprise happened in love and relationship. Also, again, you know, do this routine where you watch your sun, moon, and rising, especially if each one is different. If that sounds like nonsense to you, please go to the channel, go to tarotlumination.com and go to the connect page and write in, and I'll help you to figure these things out, okay? I think we're pretty much ready. Let's... No, we didn't do that. I was fooling myself. Hold on. Stay there. Cheers, everybody. I'm celebrating you, Taurus. It's thirsty work. Being Tarot Illumination is thirsty work. You probably figured that out already. All right, gather round. Bless this deck. Bless every single card. Bless you, Taurus. Bless Tarot Illumination. Bless the platform. Bless the channel. Bless the instruments, the gadgets, the lights, the cameras, everything that makes it all work. The electricity. What are you radiating? Think of yourself like a smartphone. Wow, 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 wow. And what's coming back at you? Okay, there you go. Same for them. What are they radiating? Deep down inside of you. Okay, deep down inside of the other. And at the core of the relationship itself. So hopefully you can see that this is the crucible. That's my depiction of the crucible here for you. Okay? And this is the container in which we intimate and separate. Like we all do, just like the ocean waves for all time. We intimate, we separate. And what is being grown here? Think of it as a plant, as a business. What are you guys doing? Are you aware of this dynamic? Are you aware that this exists? Are you aware that you have a relationship and it is its own thing? Okay, let's have a look at the weather. I think of it as the weather, environmental influences, external energy. That's all of this stuff out here, okay? It's like auric energy that you're radiating and heavenly energy, the healing power of love that you're absorbing. So we've got it. We've got the Eight of Cups, okay? So with the Eight of Cups, my feeling is that deep down, Taurus, you are very, very aware of the ongoing process of evolution, adaptation, growth, and blossoming, or else. In other words, you have to go, you have to adapt, you have to grow, you have to evolve, you have to make conscious, deliberate decisions to do that knowingly in order to blossom, in order to thrive. And at the same time, that means understanding that in the three-dimensional world in which we all live, like it or know it or not, we live on a planet called Earth, and it is finite. And in those, let's say, physical three-dimensional limitations, you realize you've already lived a life of love. There's so much history of love behind you already, Taurus. You've received so much. You have given so much. And for a lot of people, that would be it. That could be a whole life. Just that, all there, okay? And yet, because you're alive at all, because you're even here at the Tarot Illumination channel at all, it keeps going. And look where it's headed. Do you have any idea? Obviously not. I don't. You don't. But the journey continues. You know you have to keep going. You know you're heading into the great beyond, where there may not be any kind of markers or guides or GPS systems or maps or anything except your own intention to grow and evolve and just deal with what happens as it happens. So that's a very, very bold energy. It looks very simple and humble, but it's actually a huge deal to make the decisions to keep going against all odds, knowing that this has already happened. And as beautiful as it is, and as tragic as it might be, this is in the past. Okay? What are you radiating here? What? Oh my God. This is almost like a Taurus card. This is the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, this is a card of abundance, of wealth, of measurable wealth in life and love and relationship. Things that you can actually hold on to, knowing that you have been loving, you have been loved, you are appreciated and valued, you have appreciated and valued others, you have enjoyed quality time, others have enjoyed quality time with you, you understand the dynamics of people, love, and relationships and family bonds above and beyond the basics. In other words, to me, it looks like the value that comes with family and the connections and the support and the substance that comes with being loving and being loved in the context of family. It's just that whole thing of family is expanding and growing now into radical new dimensions where you've never been before. But it is inevitable that you will go there, and it is happening. Either you could say it's by the momentum of life. You could say you're being drawn there, but you're also making conscious, deliberate decisions to go there, okay? Knowing that you're heading deep into the unknown, and it's okay, okay? You have a lot that you can lean on because you know an awful lot about what it's like to love and to be loved. And it's very evidential here. You have been very loving and you are very deeply loved in the context of specific individuals that you could name and they could name you. Like if it wasn't for you, and then you could say, well, to you guys, if it wasn't for you. So there's an incredible sense of value about how valuable you are to others and how others are so valuable to you. So it's very nutritious. It's this is beautiful energy as far as I'm concerned, Taurus. I'm so happy for you. And this might be like a first glimpse and awareness of it. If you saw that playlist from March about what now through the gateway, then this might be almost like dazzling, shocking to you. Like, wow, I had no idea how incredibly fortunate and wealthy I am. How wealthy and fortunate I have been. And how wealthy and fortunate I will continue to be, because this is like fundamental to my life. I am the sign of abundance, of wealth, of money, of value, and good values. And I'm seeing it happening to me. I feel it. I sense it. What about the other? Okay, so with the Nine of Cups, my feeling here is that you're relating to a significant other who gets it. Yeah, I totally get it. Like, I have scored. Now, it may not be in any way that's kind of really, really obvious, but it's certainly showing up as evidence in your life, in your world, Taurus. Remember, this is not a couple's reading. It's all about you. You are the star of this movie, and this is the co-star. So to me, it looks like the co-star is radiating this energy of basically happiness to the point where it's almost like, how can it possibly get any better than this? And yet it can. And it's like they've earned this. They deserve this. It's like it's almost like they are clicking with you. Like physical evidence of love is actually felt as love. Okay? And it becomes reciprocal. Their their happiness from being in a loving dynamic with you is a reflection of something that you would measure as valuable, like that is valuable. And then they get off on that, and it's like they feel like they are loved. So it's just a different perception of what love means to you and what love means to the other. It's all good, either way you look at it. Now, where it goes from here is a whole other thing. Because with this Uranus and Taurus thing, opening a gateway to a whole new world of self, Taurus, where you are seeing a lot of, like, maybe an increased sense of self-worth and how valuable you are to others and how valuable others are to you, and how it is showing, you know, deep down from the signals that are happening around you, the synchronicity, the Uranian synchronicity, that things are moving on. So let's move on. Let's just do it deep down inside of you. The Queen of Cups is just like, oh my gosh, it's almost like what am I supposed to do? The Queen of Cups is like very like rich, powerful, like emotionally connected type of energy. I often think of Lady Diana. She's a very famous princess from decades ago who was married to a fellow called Prince Charles. And she was very deeply loved across the world. And she had a very tragic life. But that's not the situation here. My feeling here with the Queen of Cups energy from you, Taurus, is that like you're actually seeing it in yourself. Like, wow, it's really true what Tarot Illumination talks about. Be loving and be loved. And you take it to such an extent where you realize it's a very powerful force. It's almost the most powerful force in the universe, and it happens by conscious choice, conscious decision. When you deliberately invite the healing power of love to fill your mind, body, heart, and soul from up above, and you own it. You ask for it over and over and over again. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my body from up above. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my mind from up above. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my heart from up above. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my soul from up above. And then kapoof, wow. Jeepers, it actually works. Look how much I have. Look how rich I am. Look how valuable I am to others. Look how valuable others are to me. It's being reflected back to me. Wow. It's almost like you almost hardly know what to do with yourself. It's like having so much love, having so much abundance, like not almost knowing what to do with it. Like, what are you supposed to do with all this love? What are you supposed to do with this abundance? Because it's obviously working. Somewhere, somebody loves you. And they're digging it. They're digging it there with you. And they're digging it that you appreciate them to such a high level where they feel this about themselves coming back to themselves from you. I hope that made sense to you. I'm trying to narrate the story as best I can as it unfolds, okay? So here we go. What about deep in the other? Okay. Whoa. So my feeling is they feel it so strongly, even though they might not understand it, they might not be able to put any, like, let's say, logic to any of this. It's almost like, I don't really care. I don't care as long as it works, so long as I feel very happy, very loving, and I'm very loved, because I love this thing. I love this whole idea about like owning it, like being loving, being loved, owning it from up above, like, wow, I am loving, I am loved. Remember how we used to do this very early on with Tarot Illumination? I am loving, I am loved. 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 You say that over and over and over again. You take care of yourself. You know that you have to love thyself first. And so that's what they're doing. And it feeds on itself. And you start to see it. You sense it deep down. You sense it deep enough. Like, this is actually real. This stuff actually works. the things that Tarot Illumination talks about actually work. This is so cool. I am going to continue on this path. In fact, I'm going to make it my mission, my purpose, to be loving and to be loved. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to let my actions speak for me. I am going to go forth into that which works, according to those precepts that we just talked about here. Knowing and understanding that the really valuable things in love and life and relationship are things like sweet companionship, quality time together, enjoying those energies that a lot of people sacrifice in order to survive. I mean, you know, especially in the United States, the economic pressure to survive is astronomical. I live in a neighborhood where the cost of shelter, housing is astronomical. And people make huge sacrifices to be here, to get into that flow of so-called opportunities that here. But a lot of times they're making massive sacrifices to this kind of energy, to this kind of energy, this kind of energy, and this kind of energy in order to tap into what they think is life and love and relationship. What I'm suggesting here, what I'm feeling here is that you, Taurus, are relating with someone who gets it above and beyond. It's almost like, wow, you know what? I check you out. I was checking you out as you went through that thing Tarot Illumination was talking about, that gateway thing. And I really I get it. I see what he's talking about. Like, yeah, I get it too. It's kind of cool. Like we're in this together. Oh yeah, yeah. All that stuff like be loving, be loved. I'm like, yeah, it's real. Yeah, I get it. Look at me. Well, look at me. I get it. So like, we must be doing something right. I guess so. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, agreed? Yeah, agreed? Yeah. Ka-ching. Yeah. So that is prompting them deep down inside at a very subliminal level to keep doing what works and moving away from anything and everything that doesn't work. Because what they're sensing is that this is worth it. This is what works, even if it's radically different from what they thought life and love relationship would be. They're totally up for it. They are determined to invest. They are determined to do what actually works. In other words, what are the physical actions, tasks, decisions that they have to make in order to foster and nurture this thing that's already in motion? Okay, so let's have a look at the core here. The King of Wands. Okay, with this at the center of the relationship energy, my feeling is that the relationship is talking very, very loudly here. The relationship is this thing that you own. Remember, think of it like a private business. You guys own it, where you can look to each other, you think like, you know what? Seriously, we must be doing something right. And they're like, I know. I can see it in the evidence all around me. Well, I sure as hell feel it. It's just awesome. And then it's like, you know what? It's our relationship itself. We must have something in our relationship. And then you agree, and then they agree, and it's just like, you know what? Let's take our cues from the relationship. I was just going to say that, because the relationship is doing the talking right now. It's almost like the heroic guide and leader. Let's take our cues from the relationship itself and where it seems to be going, heading, however it seems to be doing that, okay, into wherever neither of us have ever been before. Let's commit to the journey. Let's commit to our own spiritual growth and evolution together in the context of relationship, understanding that there's a vast new wilderness in front of us. We've already been very loving and very loved. I know that I have. Well, I know that I have too. But there's more, okay? Okay. And so, like, the past doesn't matter. The future doesn't matter. The only thing that counts right now is taking the next step forward. And so the relationship itself becomes an inspiration. You look to the relationship. You look to the relationship. They look to the relationship. And the relationship becomes the actual, it's almost like the guide, like the inspiration leader. I know that might sound really strange, but that's what I'm sensing here. It's almost like you guys actually recognize You know, the whole thing that we talk about here with tarot illumination, like you, the other, and the third entity, the relationship itself, like it's almost like for you, Taurus, you're in a situation of a dazzling example of the validation of this concept, this understanding, this precept, this depiction of life and love and relationship, in relationship. And the relationship is saying, finally, somebody gets it. I told you so. It's been like this all the time. It always will be. Does anybody actually get it? Finally, it sounds like somebody does. Cool. So what happens here? Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, so with the Seven of Wands, my feeling is that this is again more inspiration. It kind of gives you, Taurus, and the other party the sense of inspiration to keep going and to go on and strive even harder, even further than ever before, because you're getting glimpses, very vivid glimpses, like, this is epic. This is truly epic. I know. I get it. I'm on board. You don't have to convince me anymore. Well, to me, this is extremely valuable. This thing that we have, our relationship, this is very valuable to me, above and beyond measure. Well, I'm just glad to be in it with you, some way, somehow, okay? Cheers, okay? And then you say to them, by the way, you just can't sit on your laurels and just, like, get drunk on all this stuff. There is a lot more to come. Are you aware of that? Yeah, but I'm just enjoying the moment. I hope you don't mind. Okay, because there's more work to do. We're heading off into a new adventure. I hope you understand that. Yeah, I do. I'm there. Don't worry. I'm loving. I'm loved. I'm there with you. And then you go to the reminder. It's going to take us into new pastures, new territories where we're going to be tested, where we're going to encounter. It's almost like an adventure movie, like where you guys and basically go on an adventure, like a new life together, forging new horizons, breaking into new territories, experimental, wonderful, bizarre, unpredictable, but you handle it, you deal with it. Every time some new challenge faces you, you rise up to it because you've got this, because you've already got this. You've already got this. It's almost like you guys are bulletproof in some way, shape, or form or another. And that just builds on itself, okay? So I'm really happy to see this for you, Taurus. I hope you make sense out of this. I hope it makes sense to you. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising. I'm not going to say anything more. I don't want to spoil it. If this reading is shorter than the others, then tough. It doesn't need to be any longer. Longer doesn't mean better, okay? It's just, this is what it is. Look at it like an independent feature film, okay? So enjoy, make the best of this, reinterpret as you want to, watch for your sun, moon, and rising. Do all the subscribes. The channel loves subscribers. The channel loves the likes. The channel loves the comments. I read every single comment, okay? Also, on top of that, if you really want to go for it, membership. That's the way to go. Check out the links below. That'll tell you everything. I'm not going to do it all here, okay? I want to leave you guys to it. Thank you so much. Have an awesome April. Bye-bye, Taurus.